principal of St. Anne Parish School, I am very proud of the dedicated faculty that not only serves in the vocation of education, but also in the ministry as Catholic school teachers. These educators, they come to us with a passion for education and a commitment to middle school aged children. And as a principal that is driven to make decisions based on what is in the best interest of our St. Anne school students, I do not act alone, nor do I lead alone. My leadership style is one of great collaboration and cooperation, and I feel especially blessed to have the great privilege and opportunity to work with Mrs. Torrance, our assistant principal, as well as our math department chair for our parish school. I am very proud of our leadership team, and I'm very proud of all of the teachers, too, in our middle school that step up in various ways to lead by example for our students.
The St. Anne Parish Middle School team is comprised of a faculty that is specifically chosen to work with and advocate for adolescents. Our middle school faculty members have certification in the middle grades and/or secondary grades. While we each come with various education backgrounds and career experiences, we all come with a passion that allows for the instruction of a student, not merely for the teaching of a subject. Even more so, we all made a commitment to Catholic education at the middle level. For example, Mr. Blake has spent 14 years at St. Anne Parish School. He has a Bachelor's of Arts in English and a Master's in Secondary Education with middle school certification in English Language Arts. Mrs. Quest has spent 3 years at St. Anne Parish School, yet has been in the Archdiocese of Chicago for 10. She has a master's and middle school endorsements in both math and science. Mrs. Dowd has spent 1 year at St. Anne Parish School, yet has 19 years total in Catholic education. We're blessed to have her with her 2 bachelor's and middle school endorsements in English Language Arts, Social Studies, Theater Drama, and secondary certification in English Language Arts. I, Mrs. Torrance, have a Bachelor's of Science in Electrical Engineering and went on after my career in the industry to receive a Master's of Arts in Education and secondary certification in Mathematics with middle school endorsements in both math and science.
We at St. Anne Parish School spend a lot of effort and energy focusing on the individual needs of our students. It's imperative to engage our students in significant learning experiences that are sensitive to their individual differences and their individual learning styles. We help them to identify their God-given gifts and to work to continue to cultivate those gifts, but we also help them to identify areas of challenge and to build up those areas of challenge. And one way we do that is by really knowing them as students and as learners and focusing on instructional practices that help each child to grow and develop.
Our math curriculum and instruction is driven by prioritized proficiency scales that are based on the Common Core state standards. We teach, enrich, and supplement using a variety of resources, including but not limited to Great Minds, formerly known as Engage New York or Eureka Math, Inside Mathematics, Achieve the Core, and traditional texts. Our 6th grade math curriculum may be considered the traditional pre-algebra class. It's aligned with a more accelerated Common Core framework, focusing on increased fluency with fractions and a deeper understanding of all rational numbers in order to build a solid foundation in ratios and proportions, and in expressions and equations. In 6th grade, geometry standards of area, surface area, and volume are introduced. Additionally, the students are expected to demonstrate statistics and probability skills by gathering and analyzing data. The 7th grade math curriculum continues to be one that is aligned to the Common Core state standards, yet is enriched with opportunities that allow for the completion of the first half of a traditional Algebra 1 course. It may also be considered the accelerated 7th grade Common Core. Its focus is on developing understanding of and application of proportional relationships, formulating and reasoning about expressions and equations and solving those equations, understanding and analyzing functions, including linear and absolute functions. Geometry reasoning is developed with the study of scale drawings, perimeter, area, surface area, and volume are continued. Finally, students practice drawing inferences from theoretical and experimental data collection. And our 8th grade math curriculum is aligned as well to the Common Core state standards. It also allows for the completion of that second half of a traditional Algebra 1 course. It may be considered an accelerated 8th Common Core class. It focuses on further developing understanding of expressions and equations, solving those equations along with systems of equations. The students understand linear, quadratic, exponential, radical, and rational functions by the end of their 8th grade year. Geometric reasoning is developed with the study of right triangles, bringing a more complete understanding of the Pythagorean theorem and trig ratios. Finally, students continue practicing drawing inferences from data collections.
The English Language Arts curriculum at St. Anne Parish Middle School is divided into 4 main pillars: the reading component, the vocabulary component, the grammar component, and writing component. Our reading component uses various novels and short stories to study literary techniques and elements. We do a lot of time focusing on setting, plot development, conflict and resolution, as well as various other literary techniques and elements. The vocabulary component uses the Sadlier Vocabulary Workshop, which uses vocabulary in context with active engagement that prepares our students for SAT and ACT tests, as well as the Catholic High School entrance exam. The program uses sentence completion, passage-based reading and comprehension and vocabulary skills, grammar in context, and more. There are also abundant resources available online to help your children in their vocabulary acquisition. The grammar component of the St. Anne Parish Middle School English Language Arts program is very advanced study of grammar. In 6th grade, skills developed from their 5th grade program, and advances through 7th and 8th grade, where we use the Mr. Blake's Grammar Machine. It is a process-driven study of grammar that we use throughout all of middle school. It really focuses on the function of words, phrases, and clauses rather than using memorization for identification of parts in speech. We use a order of operations in terms of allowing kids the ability to follow the same steps in order every single time they approach a sentence in terms of every grammatical identification process. So, very unified program in terms of looking at grammar and how words work. Lastly, our writing component uses various short-term, medium-term, and long-term writing projects to allow our students the opportunity to develop their skills in the areas of informational, opinion, narrative, and creative writing.
The science curriculum follows the Archdiocese of Chicago benchmarks that are aligned with the next generation science standards. Over the 3 years of middle school, we explore many topics in earth science, life science, physical science, chemistry, and environmental science. The 6th through 8th graders develop and master research, integration, and design skills. 3 examples of projects that they complete in middle school that meet these criteria are the Design for Change project, Science Fair, and Junior Achievement classes. The Design for Change project connects Pope Francis's encyclical on the environment with a project to better our world. It goes through 4 main steps. So the first step is the children feel. They identify something that bothers them in the environment and investigate it. The second one is imagine. The students imagine how to improve this topic that bothers them. The next one, do, is where they complete the experiment. And the 4th one is share. So they report their findings to the community. The second project is Science Fair. This is where the students select a project and apply the steps of the scientific method. It starts off with questioning, followed by a focus on research skills and a well-developed paper. They eventually create a detailed step-by-step design for an experiment and conclude with graphs and an analysis of data. The last is Junior Achievement classes. Junior Achievement fosters work readiness, entrepreneurship, and financial literacy skills. An example of this is the 8th graders participate in the finance class for Junior Achievement. Some of the topics discussed are the importance of budgeting, investing, and managing risk. They complete activities such as creating a budget to plan for a graduation party. So the goal of the class is to introduce real-world financial skills in an activity-based setting. So those are 3 examples of activities that 6th through 8th graders complete to develop and master research, integration, and design skills.
Middle school social studies at St. Anne begins with 6th grade world history. We embark on our world journey with early humans and societies, moving through the Stone Age and Mesopotamia to ancient Egypt, India, and the dynasties of China. We then move into parallel study with religion as we survey the inception of the early Hebrews and Judaism. We end our journey exploring the Greek and Roman empires and theologies. During our adventure through time, we implement graphic organizers to enhance note-taking skills, along with study folders and guides to increase study and test prep skills. Weekly geography activities and chapter projects help students build upon collaborative skills and expand their world knowledge. 7th grade travels to home shores with U.S. history. Here, our young men and women begin the journey to becoming informed and active citizens. We undertake our studies with the earliest of Americans, those first inhabitants who came from the frozen tundras in search of food. We trek through time witnessing renowned explorers, brave settlers, patriotic rebels, and founding fathers. Our studies culminate with preparation for the federal and state constitution tests, a requirement for graduation. During our conquests, we build on note-taking and study skills, partake in chapter projects, both independently and collaboratively, to boost knowledge and experience, and explore our world through weekly geography activities. We wrap up middle school social studies curriculum in 8th grade by persevering with our U.S. history studies. Our itinerary includes the Civil War and Reconstruction, culminating with the World Wars and the Great Depression. Pit stops are made to discuss current events, particularly those relevant and of interest to our scholars and community.
At St. Anne, not only do we develop academic leaders, but servant leaders as well. This starts off with their religion curriculum. In 6th grade, they focus on forming the covenant, building the covenant nation, redefining the covenant people, and in the end, how the covenant is fulfilled in Jesus. In 7th grade, they focus on who is God and who is Jesus. How is Jesus Christ alive in our church today? And then lastly, 8th grade, The students focus on how we nourish God's gift of faith, who are our ancestors in faith, and what does it mean to be Catholic. Not only do our middle schoolers receive a religion curriculum, but also service hour opportunities. The sixth graders are required to complete 10 service hours, the seventh 15, and the eighth 20. We help the middle schoolers manage their time and avoid procrastination by spacing out the hours into different trimesters so that they can be completed on time. Not only do the St. Anne middle schoolers complete service hours outside of the classroom, we also complete them together as a community. During Catholic Schools Week, we went to Feed My Starving Children, where we were able to pack food for those in need. Many of our middle schoolers also go to House of Hope and Green Castle to complete their service hours. And when students leave St. Anne, many continue serving the community. Not only do we develop academic leaders, but also servant leaders.
Achievements and co-curriculars. In many ways, our accomplishments are measured in the successes of our students, past and present. Illinois Science Fair State Level Award winners and Broadcom Masters National nominations. Catholic High School Academic Scholarship recipients. 2015 graduate, published author. Scholastic Bowl Team Championships and Junior National Academic Association Championships. American Legion Honors recipients. Prudential Community Service Honors. ND Ignite Leadership Cohorts. Some avenues that got them there. IESA and Archdiocesan Sports and Camps. Scholastic Bowl Team. Band. Choir.
Standardized testing. And why do we do it? The St. Anne Parish Middle School team comes to know each student very closely because we follow our students' journeys from the moment they step in our door. Thus, not merely differentiated instruction, but individualized instruction is the experience in our classrooms. We base this individualized instruction with informed study of data provided by 3 benchmark tests given to all students from grades K to 8, and summative tests are given to our students from grades 3 to 8.
Because of the solid foundation laid at St. Anne Parish School, our graduates are recipients of a multitude of honors and scholarships at the high school, undergrad, and graduate level.
St. Anne Parish Middle School is here to help you with every area of transition to area high schools. Partnerships with key high school personnel have been built through articulation meetings, joint professional development, and frequent dialogues initiated by our administration. These relationships have aided us in establishing a curriculum that lands close to the majority of our graduates recommended for advanced, honors, and/or AP level classes as freshmen. We have established channels of communication to help families through the process of choosing and enrolling in various area high schools, including the entrance exams, class placements, and various extracurricular programs.
Please enjoy this sampling of testimonials. Should you have any questions, or perhaps you would like a tour, please don't hesitate in reaching out to any one of us. We look forward to speaking with you soon. Thank you.